Hello, I'm Teresa Meredith, newly elected president of the Indiana State Teachers Association. Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with Glenda Ritz, the state superintendent of public instruction, and ask her a few questions about her career as a teacher and her work as an association leader. And here's what she had to say. Well, welcome, Superintendent Ritz. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day to join us. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
I want to just jump right into some questions here. Could you tell us a little bit about what brought you into teaching in the first place? Why did you choose this profession?
Well, I actually knew I wanted to be a teacher in high school at Jefferson High School in Lafayette, and they had cadet teaching. And so I spent 2 days a week in a classroom, an elementary classroom, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I was intentional about starting my resume right then. I went home, and I wrote down the hours and what school I was working at, and made sure that I was working in schools and with children throughout my summer jobs to make sure that I was going to head towards this profession.
Good. Well, we're glad that you did. So what role do you think that the state's Teachers Association should play in improving education in Indiana?
Well, first and foremost, I think they need to be student advocates and loud and clear. And then, of course, the professional advocacy needs to be involved with that, making sure that educators have what they need in their classrooms. I think teacher associations can play a big part in professional development. In fact, I'd like to see that stepped up even more in partnering with the DOE to make sure that we're getting the PD that's needed for teachers. And then school improvement. I think that teacher associations can play a big role in student and school improvement. And the Department of Education is going to be embarking on outreach, providing grassroots support to schools. And I'm going to be looking toward to make improvement. So I think teachers associations have a vital role in making sure that we are continually improving.
So you were an ISTA member during your teaching time in the classroom. Why was it important to you to join and belong to the association?
Oh my gosh, there's a myriad of reasons. But to stay in tune basically with education policy, I think it's important for educators everywhere to be in tune with what's happening with their own profession at the local, the state, and the national level, to have that broad perspective outside of your classroom to know, because those things affect what you do in the classroom. Former ISTA President Nate Schnellenberger actually recommended me for the National Board of Professional Teaching Standards when I was a ISTA teacher leader, and that really gave me a broad perspective of education policy. That started to hone my skills, so to speak, to be in a larger arena. ISTA pushed for me to be a vocal advocate for students first, and then for educators. And it got me involved in the political scene. Like it or not, we're government employees. We're part of the political scene. So I appreciated that, lobbying for what's right for students in the classroom. Develop leadership skills. Oh my goodness, just a myriad of opportunities to develop your leadership skills. And actually bargaining, I think, played a huge role in honing my skills. It made sure that I was going to be working with compromise, listening, and then it instilled in me perseverance. You know, we just need to keep working with this and getting it right and moving it forward. And I've always appreciated the support of, at the local level, but ISTA and NEA, they're tied together. And I think a lot of educators don't really realize that, you know, when they're just teaching in their classroom. But the state and the national level affect, you know, what we do in the classroom, and we need to have that kind of advocacy.
If you could give some advice to a very beginning career teacher, what advice would you give that person?
Well, I guess first and foremost, I would tell them to join their teachers association. My own story is very unique in that aspect. I started out as a teacher assistant in a school district as a special education teacher, but I was hired in Washington Township in April of a school year. And going into a situation in which I was going to be responsible for students of great need, I knew the importance of joining the association and paying full dues, even in April, knowing that I was going to need that type of support as a young teacher. I think young teachers nowadays deal with a lot of stress in their job, and they need to know that the Teachers Association is going to be looking out for that and playing a big role in that. The association, young teachers need to know that associations are a collective voice. It's a way to bring about policy change and have an effect on that. Second, I would tell them to enjoy their profession and their students. They need to enjoy what they do. This will be the first year that I don't start out the school year with kids, and it's a little anxiousness about not being able to do that. I'm so glad though that I have opportunities within my job to be with children. I taught up until January, right before I took this job. The reason I did that was because I never did want to leave the classroom. So it's a chance for me to work in education policy, but I would just tell young teachers, enjoy the kids and get to know them and really be an advocate for their needs. You have to always ask to be sure that you can get what's needed for the students in your classroom and be that kind of advocate for the kids in your classroom.
There seems to be a large number of people leaving our profession. They either come in and don't stay very long, or they're looking for maybe retiring early. What advice would you have for helping keep quality educators in this profession?
Well, I see actually two different needs when it comes to our teaching profession. One is trying to keep veteran teachers as long as we can keep them, because they have a valuable resource, not only to mentoring our young teachers, but having that classroom skill and expertise that we so desperately need to tap into. The other issue that I think that we need to do is attract good young people into the profession. And to me, that's just as important. We need to always have a balance of professionals within our group, but we need to begin to train our own teachers. I talked at the beginning of this interview about my cadet teaching experience. That needs to be widespread. It needs to be widespread in our high schools. We need to be training our own teachers to come into our profession and molding that. I'm interested in good, strong, rigorous pre-service training and licensing requirements that are going to really positively affect attracting good teachers. The DOE actually is going to be very supportive in this area in making sure that teachers feel the respect and the professionalism that they're due with working in the classroom, and I hope they've begun to see that. I encourage the educators to stay tuned, because the DOE is about to embark upon quite a few things, with our outreach program providing supports right to the school level at the grassroots. We've got 2 Facebook pages that they need to pay attention to as educators. One Facebook page deals with policy only. Literally, it's not interactive, and they can stay tuned to what's happening and where where hearings are being held and how they can have their voice heard. But the other Facebook is all about sharing the great things that are happening. So when I'm out and about in Indiana, that's my job. I've hired somebody that's all they do is social media, getting the word out there. I want parents to be tuned into the DOE Facebook and know what's really going on in education, so that we can work together to make positive changes.
Was there anything else you'd like to share with our colleagues across the state as they embark on a new year?
I guess I just want to say, have a great year. We're going to be there to support, and I'm going to need their expertise on what they're doing, and so I just hope that everyone has a great year.
Superintendent Ritz, thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time to answer some questions that we had for you.
Thanks, Teresa.